and sit down.
What is going on, Dads? And welcome to episode 25 of the Dads After Dark show, recorded on Sunday, December 6th, 2020. We're your hosts, Drew and John, and thank you for joining us tonight for some Nintendo and ugly Christmas sweaters.
And
John, if you haven't noticed, I am wearing this classic N64 Christmas sweater that I picked up at TJ Maxx for a nice, clean $7. But what's going on with you? How you been? What's going on over in Colorado over there?
How could I not notice that sweater? It's like, it's just staring right at me.
Beautiful.
It's very nice. I wish I've got my Nintendo Prime Metroid Mario shirt on. Just happened to. Not for you or anything, Drew.
Yeah, okay. It's for me.
I'm dandy. As we're recording this, my beloved Denver Broncos are playing Jesse's mighty Kansas City Chiefs. And I just decided, instead of sitting around for 3 hours and watching the Broncos get the shit kicked out of them, I'm just going to record with my pal Drew.
Yeah, you know, some things are just better. And in this case, podcasting. I did a thing. You ever hear the Mitz tiles? They're like these little 8x8 canvases. Essentially, it's like a Shutterfly. You upload your pictures, they send you these printed little canvases. They're kind of nice. So there was a big Black Friday sale, so I sneaked in two of
Snuck in.
Sniped. Let's go with sniped. Anyways, so I printed one of our logo, and it's hanging right above my little podcast area. So now I get to look at your burly chest and face every moment of talking.
Delicious.
It is delicious.
I hope you think about me when you're in your closet.
Only when I come out of the closet, I think of you, John.
Drew, I needed to get this off my chest. I haven't had anyone to talk about this.
Yes.
Since it came out, but Ready Player 2 came out last week. Oh, yeah. So I think I've talked about this on the show. Ready Player 1 is one of my favorite books of all time. I think only Ender's Game do I ever have a higher regard for. And I was very excited for the sequel to this. I've read Ready Player 1, I think just twice. I've watched the movie a few times. I love it. And I was super excited for this. And I know that this is a book you want to read for Christmas.
It is.
And I don't want to spoil anything, but my wife does not care. And I just needed to talk to somebody, and I want to talk to our audience. I did not love Ready Player 2.
Wait, don't tell me you already finished it.
Oh, I finished it.
Wow, what are you, one of those speed readers?
Oh, I mean, I did not. I mean, we'll talk about Age of Calamity. I did not like Ready Player 2, but of course I could not stop reading Ready Player 2. I won't give much about it, but I will say I answered some questions on Twitter this week. It reminds me, have you read Ender's Game?
No.
Okay. You should. It's great. Ender's Game came out, and then the guy released 3 more books. So like Ender's Game's technically like what's a trilogy but with 4 books? Quadrology? Something like that. There are 4 books in the Ender's Game series, and the last 3 really are very different than the first one. And that's what this is. Ready Player 2, don't go into Ready Player 2 thinking it's going to be like Ready Player 1. It has a lot of similarities, of course.
But like a totally different, it's got to still be similar aspects.
It's more moralistic. It's more about humanity than, whatever. But as you're reading it, you're going to think, oh, this is just like the first book. It's just not. There's something different to be had from it. So I will be really interested when you do finish this book. And if anybody else has read it,
now I don't even want to fucking read it, John. Thanks.
No, you should read it. It's important to read it, because then we can talk about it. But no, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it's a shitty book, don't bother, or it's a great book, it's amazing. It's different. Expect a different. When you put it down and it's all done, expect a different feeling.
I'm not even sure what that means.
I can't wait to talk about it. Well,
go ahead.
Yeah, when you finish reading it, we are going to just do a spoilers chat about it. So
okay, we can do that. On a happier note, did you have a chance to listen to a Merry Hyrule Christmas soundtrack?
Not all of it yet.
It's like 30 minutes long.
It's yeah. There's a couple songs in there that make me stop. But tell us about it.
There's nothing to tell about it. It's just this guy created a Christmas inspired soundtrack based off Hyrule lore, I guess you could say. The 12 Days of Christmas, whatever the hell they call it, is very interesting. That one is interesting, but it's just catchy. I don't know. It's if you like Christmas music and you like Zelda, it's a good listen. It's like a 30-minute listen. I put it on when I was working the other day, and it's nice. It's relaxing. Yeah,
there's some good songs on. I like that first one.
The first one was
like Kakariko Village or whatever.
Yeah, they had Silent Night, but spelled like Knight.
Oh, look, they're running a Cyberpunk commercial during the Bronco game.
Oh, lovely. Is that out yet? Is that even out yet?
This Thursday. It actually comes out.
So there's still a chance that it doesn't come out.
Oh, it's coming out.
All right. That's all I really got going on. You?
Yeah, this weekend I want to talk about my New York eating day today. We went and got Dunkin' Donuts for breakfast.
I did as well.
Did you?
I did. That's odd. Yep.
What kind of donut do you get?
I went traditional today. I went with the chocolate frosted with the snowflake sprinkles on top. My wife's been craving the cheddar cheese bagel twist. You ever have one of those? Those are good.
Is that a donut?
No. It's a bagel.
Okay. Yeah. You started saying cheddar cheese, and I was like,
no, cheddar cheese bagel twist. They're decent. Then my kids are munchkin eaters. They like. My son likes the jelly munchkins, and my daughter likes pumpkin, but they don't have them anymore. So I had to go with the blueberry and chocolate.
Yeah, I'm a munchkin guy. Well, it's funny because you got the same donut that my son got, and I go for munchkins. The jelly munchkins are amazing, but one day I would like to get an all jelly munchkin box. But realistically, I like all the munchkins except for the powdered. Those are disgusting.
They're a little dry. I mean, the jelly munchkin is just amazing. Think about it. I mean, the point of you have the big jelly donut. It's like once you get to the jelly, it's just too much jelly, and then it's oozing out, and it's hard to eat. Which lead me believe, right? Isn't the point of a munchkin because you have the donut hole?
Yes.
So for a jelly munchkin, it seems like a lot of work. They should charge more money for them.
I said the same thing. I said the munchkins are supposed to be the hole that pops out, but the jelly is like, it's contradictory.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And it's the only one like that.
But they don't charge more. Let's not tell them that they should charge more.
Well, yeah, if I buy a full box of jelly munchkins, they'll catch on. Dangerous.
But so that was breakfast.
We did the munchkins. We had munchkins for breakfast. When we got home, we brought the pumpkins, the donuts home. I made Italian sausage, so we had that with the donuts. Don't ask. And then for dinner, we had New York pizza.
What about lunch?
And we kind of skipped lunch. Really, by the time we got home with the donuts, it was like almost lunch.
Yeah.
So, but we had such a great New York. Now I'm sitting here chewing on a chocolate bar and a Coke. But it was such a New York eating day, and it made me feel like home. You guys have like good New York pizza in Rhode Island? What kind of pizza do you guys do?
Oh yeah, we got big. I mean, there's every types of pizza around here. You pretty much get any type of pizza. But yeah, we do have good pizza though. I got a good place right down the road. So
it's like an easy thing, not so much like New York.
Exactly. Oh yeah, they migrated up to us. Absolutely.
Sweet. Well, I think we can just get right into what we've been playing.
We shall.
Let's do it.
All right, John, what have we been playing? For the first time ever, I feel like I can contribute to this a little bit, because typically it's just one game, but this week I got a few games I can talk about. We've both been playing Age of Calamity, that's no secret. I think we all know that. So we're not going to talk about that right here because that just may have made our top 10 list this week. I think we have a lot to say about it. So you're going to have to hold tight for that one. But John, what else have you been sneaking in there?
I'll start with one I'm really excited about. I've been wanting to play it for years. Life is Strange. This is a PS4. I think it's a PS4 exclusive. It was done by Don't Nod, and they ended up doing Tell Me Why. And I had played Tell Me Why when it came on Xbox Game Pass, and now I finally got to go back to this. This story starts out a little frustrating. I was all ready to start playing it. I go in to put it into my PS4 to download the inevitable updates, and there's no fucking disc in my copy of Life is Strange. I had bought this from at a swap meet, like my gaming group, and I'm not sure if I talked about this, but we got hit by a string of thefts at our last swap meet. It's usually not somebody in the group. We were outdoors. This was in August. We were socially distancing. Anybody could walk around, and someone was taking discs out of the cases and stealing them. So we didn't really know till we got home. Somebody said where Wii Sports was missing, and it was like a big thing. And it was like, we never. And then I realized I was missing someone stole my Wander Song game chip out of the case. I lost a couple games, but yes, Life is Strange, which was a game that I bought at the swap meet, put it in my bin, and then the disc got stolen. So fuck that.
So you didn't play it?
So no, I did play it. I had to go on eBay. I bought a disc-only version to replace it. I love this game. I played through the first chapter. There's 5 chapters. Loved it. It's about a girl and her friend. I'm not sure like how much I give away, but like she's like a film student, and her name's Max. She's a film student. She's in the school, and some stuff goes down. An old friend of hers gets into trouble, but what happens is she figures out that she can rewind time, and that becomes the central game mechanic in the game. And what's really interesting about that is when you play a story-based game, the thing about story-based games is you can make decisions in a game, Drew, right? But what's the point? And you can change how the game plays out. But what is the point of that if you only play it one time? So if you say you can kill this person or kill this person and your decision changes the story, okay, I decide to kill this person. Well, okay. But if I don't play the game again and kill the other person, then what's the difference? To me, it's still one story. The cool part about Life is Strange is you can do this rewinding of time, and so you can actually do something, pick an event. There's a scene where there's this bully who's just picking on you in the beginning of the game, and you have this ability to drop paint on her. And then after you drop the paint on her, they basically say, do you want to rub it in her face, like, call her a bitch and all that stuff? Or do you want to, like, sympathize with her? And, I decided to sympathize with her. But then I have the ability to rewind time and then, rub it in her face and really essentially choose what I want to do. So I had a lot of fun with that. Got through chapter 1, had a great little ending. I'm looking forward to playing the other 4 chapters, probably a little bit later, but it's so exciting when you play a game that you have been waiting to play for so long. And I did a 30-second review on this one, so check that out on our channel. And exciting time. How about let's go back and forth here. Let's see. I see a few on your list, and I'm dying to know. Well, I want you to tell me about Just Dance, please.
Just Dance. So you have kids, So my kids have been doing or asking a lot about like what they call movement, which is really just almost like YouTube videos, but it's more of like movement videos. Mm-hmm. A lot of them are like put out by educators. So I think my school, my daughter's school originally got them onto it, and different themes and all that stuff. So they started watching these videos. They're dance videos, and you follow and you go along with the moves. So I said, it's pretty much Just Dance when I'm watching it. So I said, I need to pick up Just Dance for my family. And I said, my wife will play with them and they'll have an absolute blast. And they have been. I did the free trial of the subscription. What do they call it? Ultimate or something like that? The Ultimate,
Yes.
Unlimited, Ultimate, whatever the hell it's called.
Limited.
Unlimited. Yeah. It's cool. It's not like a game for me, but I love games that I can see my family playing together, if that made sense, right? So I'll just sit around and watch them. I'll try here or there a little bit, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I'll talk a little bit about later on the good deal I got for it, but it's well done. It's a good game. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's perfect for what I was looking for, you know. There's some
have you
interesting
played this
songs.
Have you played it before?
Never.
Oh, so this is your first time?
Yeah. Yep. First time here.
Interesting. It's did you find any particular song or something that you liked, or like because like when I play Just Dance, I really like the electronic music.
Well, I feel like when you first start playing Just Dance, the first thing you have to do is look for like the crazy songs, right? They have that dumb cat song, which is catchy. It's actually not dumb. It's pretty catchy. They have like the Pac-Man one. So you got to try all those ones out first. And then, no, nothing in particular. You know, they did the Frozen stuff, and they did all the ones that you'd want. And then I made my wife do like, you know, an insanely expert one or whatever the hell it was called, just to watch her. And she killed it. But it was it's definitely more of a watching game for me.
Did you try the Blackpink?
No, I was upset. I looked for BTS. They weren't on there either. So a little upset about that.
You got to do Blackpink for me, Drew.
I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you.
I don't have. This is 2021, right? You have the new one?
I do.
Okay. I haven't picked that one up.
Just
I pick up every single one, but we have not done 2021 because we really started slacking after 2020. We got 2020 and then didn't play that much. This for us, it's like an exercise game, and then Ring Fit came out, and so we haven't done a lot of Just Dance, but I know they have the new Blackpink ice cream song. Really want to play that one. If you get the unlimited, you can play the entire back catalog. But if you have 2020, you can't play the 2021 songs. You have to have the latest version to play the newest songs. So
gotcha. Yeah, I mean, it's fun. You get, you know, it adds a little element of, you know, you getting like points or coins, and then you go to the little gumball type machine and you put them in and you unlock something new. Typically it's some type of like avatar, you know, improvement or skin or something like that. But it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. And I like the how there's multiple dancers. You have to pick which dancer you want to do. You know, it's definitely a lot of thought into the game. You know, I thought it was more put together than I anticipated. Let's say that.
Cool.
What about you? What's next on your list?
In the theme of cheating, I am playing through The Last of Us 2 finally.
At this point, I just expect it.
I'm just cheating like crazy this week. So my son doesn't listen to this, but I'm gifting my son my PS4 for Christmas. And if that sounds like me being a cheapskate or whatever, it's only because I actually would have considered buying him his own PS4, but you can't even find them in stores.
Really?
And used online is like $200 at least for a PS4. And I'm talking original PS4, like the slim model, not like the PS4 Pro. So I'm still in the market looking for a PS5, and I kind of had said to him, because he wanted a gaming PC. But long story short, I'm just giving him my PS4, which means I have about 20 days to finish The Last of Us 2. It was just the one game I didn't want to like have to go into his room to play. It's obviously very gritty, and you know.
How old is he now?
He's 13. He's going to be 14 in March.
He's getting to that age, huh?
Yeah, and I'm really excited because he's been playing a lot of Fortnite. We got him a Switch Lite last year. I know I'm going way off topic here, but we got him a Switch Lite for Christmas last year, and then he started playing Fortnite in March. We let him play Fortnite when he turned 13, and so he's been playing on that little tiny screen, and so he's going to be able to play on his PS4, and we're getting him a bigger TV, and so he's going to be loving Fortnite. He's going to be so much better at Fortnite.
Nice.
I'm excited for him, but anywho, I wanted to play through Last of Us 2. That was the one game I really wanted to get through. I'm about 7 hours in. Really like it. The first one was great. Really loved the first Last of Us, and this one is definitely. I haven't gotten any spoilers yet. I was really excited, but I did hear it was gritty, and yes, it's very gritty. There's less charm. The first game is about Joel and Ellie. And Ellie's a 14-year-old girl, and she just like, and it's like the apocalypse. It's very much like Walking Dead. But Ellie's just this goofy 14-year-old girl. Mm-hmm. And that's what makes the game so fun, is she just makes these silly little statements in a game that's like post-apocalyptic zombies all over the place. She just has this like natural charm. In this game, she's like 18. She's older. Her voice is deeper. It doesn't have as much charm to it. So as you're going through this dark world, you don't get that like that levity like you did in the first game, and it makes it harder to get through. But on the same end, I heard people say like this is not a game for everybody, and I thought it was going to be way worse. And there are some comedic moments. It's just not quite the same as the first one, but I'm really enjoying it. The one problem I've had is it's giving a bit of motion sickness. I usually get that with with the first person view games.
Yeah.
For some reason, I think it's because the camera is moving too quickly or something. I don't know, but I have to be careful. I might hit a point where I have to stop playing and just watch movies. But it's really good. If you ever get a PS4 or decide to cheat, Drew,
I won't. I don't. I am a loyal companion.
The Last of Us series is really good.
Well, I'll never play it. Let's jump to the Switch. Speaking of,
what have you been playing on the Switch, Drew?
Let's talk about what I've not been playing, John, because I fucked up, but I was also a nice husband at the same time. I did a thing, and as you know, just like you and your family love, my wife loves Harry Potter. So I bought her Lego Harry Potter. It was a good deal. I bought it for the Switch digitally, all 7 movies, 1 through 7. And she steals my Switch nonstop now. This month, when I get my little Nintendo email, this will probably be the highest hours I've ever recorded between all the games I've been playing. But she bought this. I bought this game for her. I think I want to say Black Friday, which was last Friday. Almost 10 days ago?
My God.
She's already on the 5th movie. So she beat, and she went back, and John, she 100%ed it. She went back.
The whole
first 4 movies.
Wow.
Because the way it is, it's broken down into 2 different games. Mm-hmm. The first 4 is like 1 game, and then 5, 6, and 7 is 2 games. The second game. So they're independent to each other. Like you could go start from movie 5 if you wanted to. But she's loving it. You know what? In a weird way, it kind of makes me like, I don't know if happy is the right word, but like seeing her play it, like, 1, yeah, she loves video games. She doesn't play that much. When she finds a game, it's nice. 2, I'm seeing my Switch being used more, which is always good. Not just me, family oriented, which is key for pitching a second Switch, right, John? We all know how that happens. Mm-hmm. I find she likes to play this game once the kids go to bed. So at like 8 to 10 o'clock, my Switch is held up every night, which kind of blows. So yeah, she's been killing it. What about you?
That is awesome. Actually, I think it's funny because I was able to finish Age of Calamity before you, and I think you had a 16-hour head start on me. So if you're listening, thank you, Amy. And I beat you by quite a bit too, like several days, like almost a week.
Well, there's rationale there that we'll get to.
Well, I am still a Nintendo kid. I have backfilled my list. I got to play, aside from Age of Calamity these past 2 weeks, Fire Emblem, Shadow Dragon, and the Blade of Light. You know what this is, Drew?
This is like the one that never came west, right? I'll tell you what. This is the special edition one you picked up?
Yep.
I will say, John, as you know, I don't hate Fire Emblem. I just never got into it. That was pretty damn sexy special edition. I'm happy for you. because I thought it was pretty cool. And again, I'm not even a Fire Emblem guy, so for you, I only can understand your excitement.
Much like your dick, it was a lot bigger than I expected.
Oh,
I was surprised. I ordered it from Best Buy. They brought it out because we're not allowed to go in to pick up pre-orders anymore at Best Buy right now because of the pandemic.
Huh.
And the person was bringing it out, and I was like, "Holy crap!" Like the box was I thought the box was just a little bit taller than a Switch case. It's like double the size. It was huge.
Was it like the Breath of the Wild type thing?
Yes,
remember
it's
that
about the same size as the Breath of the Wild special edition.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really heavy, which I also did not expect. And it's because this one comes with like a crystal. I don't know if it's crystal, right? What would you call it? Like clear?
Glass.
Yeah. NES cartridge.
That thing was awesome.
Of the original. And it's like, wow, I really didn't know. I never took a close look at what I was having, but oh my God.
Now, was that to like scale size?
It's pretty much to scale. I don't know exactly. Yeah, but it's close to scale because it comes inside that big box is a smaller box, which represents like an NES box. But it's a Famicom game, and it never came out on NES. It's a Famicom box, but it looks like an NES box. I don't know what a Famicom box looked like. But yeah, oh my God, I was like, this is one of the best special editions I've ever gotten because it's a game that I really care about too.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love the box.
So, and you played it.
And I did play it, yes. So it is the original version of Fire Emblem, the first one. It was from the Famicom, so that's like the Japanese equivalent of the NES. And it came out 30 years ago. And it never came to North America, so there's never been an official English translation. This is the first time. And I got to say, they did a really good job with it. And they didn't just release a ROM or anything. They added the ability to, and it's not like an emulator thing, but they added the ability to rewind your moves, which was not in the original game.
Yep.
Actually, you can't rewind a move. Like if you make a bad move, you can't rewind a move. You just rewind to the beginning of when you started all of your moves.
Okay. Are you talking turn-based? Is that the style?
Yeah. In Fire Emblem, I've always been conflicted with Fire Emblem because the idea behind Fire Emblem, believe it or not, is that you're supposed to accept the result of every decision you make. And so if you have a character that dies, you just have to live with that.
Or not live with that.
well, sure, but you're supposed to live with that. Like it is part of your story, your individual game's story. And think of it as a book, like, oh, and this character died or whatever. In reality, if you lose a character that you really like, you generally are just going to like reset your game and go back to a save file. But a lot of the Fire Emblem games make that tricky. It's not so easy. If you like just kill your game and come back,
of time or something. Yeah.
Well, if you kill your game and come back, you might not come back and be able to just go from where your save file was. It kind of like saves where you were. So there are like some tricky things you have to do. In recent games, they let you rewind a certain number of times in a fight. So this one will let you just go back and just start again on your moves or whatever. I try not to do it, but I have to say, I really appreciate the simplicity that the first Fire Emblem has. All the games since then, they add all the different play mechanics and that sort of thing. There's a charm to it and its simplicity, but it's also a little bit boring. You can't, when you move your cursor around and you like put it on somebody, it doesn't just automatically show who they are. You have to press A, and then it brings it up, and it's kind of slow, so it kind of brings it up, and then it's like it's a fighter or something, and their level is 2, and you're like, okay, and then you have to look at their energy. It does not show you their energy in any way. Just looking at the map, you have to click on everybody, so you have to kind of like in your head memorize what the health is for everybody. Otherwise, you just gotta click on everybody one at a time. Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Moving the square around and selecting is a little slow. Every time you click A on a player to move them, it used to be they just showed you where you can move them and then you move them. But this brings up that little menu, and you just have to ignore it and then move your cursor and then go where you want to go and then press A to move them there. It's very clunky. And I'm on like third level. There's 25 levels.
Oh, jeez.
I cannot recommend playing this game today because it's so much easier to play a game of Fire Emblem now. There's more personality. They say things when they fight. You get some predictability. Like in this game, you have no idea what your attack is going to do to that person, whereas a modern game would say, you're likely going to kill this person, or you're likely going to take 20 health from them and they'll take 5 health from you. I can't recommend it. I'm going to just keep going until I get dreadfully bored, because I really want to experience this more. But yeah, it's not a great game of Fire Emblem. The good news is the Fire Emblem game is only $6 on the eShop. So if you just want to buy the game, it's $6. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
And how much was the special edition?
Like $50 or $60.
That's not terrible, actually. But
that was absolutely worth it.
Yeah,
absolutely worth it. And I actually have a second one coming.
So what? Now you're not going to open?
Well, I ordered it from Nintendo's site because they didn't do They did the same. Remember with the Game & Watch, they didn't do pre-orders, and then they did the Nintendo site pre-orders. And I ordered one, and then like around midnight, they did the Best Buy pre-orders. And of course, I did that one because I wanted it right away. So I still have the Nintendo one coming. Yeah.
It's funny. It's funny. All this like that. Something else sparked my interest the other day, and it kind of got me into the mood to play a retro game. And I don't know why, but 2 retro games jumped out at me because I'd never played them before. I think it was the rumor of possible Game Boy games coming to the Switch. And then what the first thing that came to my mind was, John, is I want to play Advance Wars. Give me some Advance Wars. I've never played it. And the other one that popped out was Chrono Trigger. I've never played it, and I need to play it at some point in my life. And I need to somehow get that and play it.
That's a rough one. I've never been on the Chrono Trigger bandwagon.
Really?
I agree with you. Like, yeah, it's worth a play. My biggest problem with Chrono Trigger is it's so easy to get lost midway through that game.
Yeah, but I have no shame in doing an entire walkthrough with it just to experience it.
Okay. All right. If you're okay with that.
For that, I would be.
You not only get lost on where to go, but when to go.
One of those.
Yeah.
All right, I'm out.
Yeah.
All right.
The beginning of it's great.
The last game I need to talk about is I picked up Team Sonic Racing, more for my son. I felt guilty. I did Just Dance. I did Harry Potter. So my son's a huge Sonic guy, and he loves playing Mario Kart. He's only 4. But I said, let me pick up Team Sonic Racing. You know what? This made me realize how damn good Mario Kart really is, John. I gave this game about a good hour. It was too difficult for my 4-year-old to really play it. And I didn't give him a ton of time. We played it for a little bit, but I will go back to this at some point, but I just haven't had time yet. It's again, it's weird. It just doesn't feel right? Because it's not Mario Kart, and you're always going to compare it. But yeah, like I said, I've only given it about an hour or so, and I'm going to give it some more time in the near future. He actually asked me to play today, and I was like on the last mission of Calamity. I'm like, shut up! Nope, nobody talk. But yeah, Team Sonic Racing. I'll be giving that more of a go.
Does this game have like a campaign? I know some of the other games have like a more campaign based.
I
is
don't
this
even
just
know.
like
I haven't dug into that yet because when I loaded it up, everyone was excited. Everyone wanted to play, so I was like, all right, let me just go to like 4-player mode, and we just all gonna play together, So I haven't really even. That's why I want to sit down and really dig into that. If there's a story mode, that sells me a little bit more. I like a good story mode for a racing game sometimes.
Cool.
All right, so that was a lot, but are you ready for our top 10?
Let's do the top 10. Where's Sadie?
Sadie!
Number 10.
There is a new game out. We don't get directs anymore, but very exciting. Neo, The World Ends With You was announced. How excited are you for this, Drew?
Zero excitement. I don't even think I really saw the initial announcement. Drew
is the Jesse of our podcast.
I I don't get it. I don't see the excitement of it. Call me crazy. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
what's the love for it? It just, to me, I don't know. I don't get it.
Very, very personal. When did it come out? The World Ends With You got ported to the Switch. Was it a couple years ago? And I got onto the hype train for it coming to the Switch. And but I realized I owned it on the DS. I was like, oh, I already owned it on DS. And so I decided I'm going to play it on the DS. And so I actually did. I played through the whole game on DS. I was so excited. And I actually really liked The World Ends With You in the beginning. By the end, I hated The World
Is it a
Ends
long
With You.
game or short?
It is way longer than it needs to be. And it's kind of a game where you're on the streets of Japan. It's in Shibuya, the Shibuya district.
Yep.
And you're like in this, if I remember right, this like afterworld, this underworld. You're in this like realm of death, and you have to play this game to survive. It's like, and if you're the winner, we won't kill you or something. And there's like the number of days is like you have to do it in a certain number of days. And I remember by the time I was getting to the end of it, I was like, wow, this game's pretty quick. And then you get through it and you're like, I did it. And then like the game repeats itself and you have to play the game again. And it's like, oh my God, I can't stand games where you don't have a sense of what the ending is. You're just playing until the game tells you you're done.
Yeah.
It's really repetitive. And I'm going to dump on this game for just a little bit. It's really repetitive. You have all these fights you have to do. I did not enjoy the combat. Maybe I missed some concepts. I feel like I must have missed some concept that would have made the fighting better. By the end of the game, I dreadfully did not enjoy this game, but I finished it, gave it its fair due, hated it. So I'm not excited for the new game, but it does look impressive.
Is the combat more of like a hack and slash or live
it's like
combat?
You're going from one end of the city to the other. You have to do a battle, and it's just a bunch of people come at you, and you just have to do your attacks. It's very much like Age of Calamity. It's like the same fights over and over and over, the same enemies over and over and over. A whole bunch of them, and you're gonna like scratch up your
original, like Ninja Turtle arcade game type style.
Going from like describe.
I don't know.
It just gets dreadful, and then you have to like wear these fashion. Like each area of Shibuya has a fashion, and if you're wearing those fashions, you have power ups. It's just I don't know. I didn't really love it. I know a lot of people did love it. I definitely think it's one of those love-hate games. But yeah, the new one looks good. I mean, it looks pretty, and it's not a Nintendo exclusive. It's going to come to PS4 and Switch in the summer of 2021. So it'll probably be available in 2022, right?
Yeah, probably where things are going. Absolutely.
Number 9.
Monthly mayhem. Well, John, you fucked up. Or maybe I fucked up. Somebody fucked up. Well, probably me, but I'm going to blame you. So, folks, we've retracted our monthly mayhem this month because we have originally asked everyone to go out there in the search of Korot seeds. And there's plenty to be found. There's actually many, many, many to be found. But the problem is they are actually consumables or no different than a material where you have to use them for certain upgrades or things like that. And I was like, okay, no big deal. There's got to be a tracker of how many seeds you found. No, there is not, which is just so freaking weird.
That is
John.
weird. Yeah.
Especially coming from, based off a game where it was like a big collectible portion, So the point is, there's no seeds. We're not doing that. So here are the new rules, folks. If you haven't heard, anyone on the Discord has probably already seen the new little graphic sheet go out. We made it simple. Step 1, you do have to beat the game. You have to beat the game. Once you beat the game, if you push on the main menu, the minus sign, which is the system setting, then you go to gallery, and then you go to records. It's like the third or fourth option down. If you did not beat the game, you will see 3 question marks. If you beat the game, you will see map completion. And pretty much just take a screenshot of how much of the map you've completed. It's that simple, and send it to us. Again, that's for all of Age of Calamity. If you do not want to play Age of Calamity, you can still play the original Legend of Zelda on the NES and even simpler Colette Heart pieces. That's it. 2 points, 1 point for every, 2 points
2
for every
points
heart
per
piece.
heart. Yep.
What we did for the map percentages would given you 3 points. So obviously, if you did 100%, you will get 300 points. God bless
God.
you.
If you get 100%, yeah, God bless you.
God bless you.
I actually think, Drew, this is actually going to be better. Sometimes it's hard with these games to do the scoring before they come out.
Yeah.
And you and I are both the same. We don't want to know too much about a game before we start playing, but we usually sometimes have to for Mayhem. But this actually works out better because if you could track how many Korok needed, it really would have been a matter of playing through some of those main story sequences multiple times to look around for seeds.
Using a map
would have
of
been
awful.
So boring.
This is perfect.
With this new format, encourages you to keep playing new levels and make progress in the game naturally.
Agreed.
So really, you don't have to do anything different than you would have done playing this game before. Besides, you're playing beyond the credits.
And I love it because, like I said, we'll talk about it more later, but, I beat the game already. I probably would maybe be done, and I maybe would move on. But I think now that Mayhem's a thing and we have this, I kind of encouraged a little bit more to see how far I can get and challenge myself. So, Monthly Mayhem, that is the new rules, folks. If you have any questions, reach out to us on Discord and we can help explain it to you.
Number 8.
Switch updates, folks. That's right. 11.0, right, John? Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that is the newest update. Yep. We've really had 3. I guess you could break it down into 3 different categories. The first one is photo transfer. What do you think of this one, John? I like the idea, even though it's Nintendo being weird. I like the idea of now being able to send a photo straight to my phone, because I always would have to either take a picture of the screen with my phone, or send it to Twitter, right? Which is always weird because if, depending on your lifestyle or your Twitter, if you don't want to post a video game to your personal Twitter,
right?
That was really the only option to get a clear photo. But now with the ability to just send it straight to your phone, that is very cool.
Yeah, I learned how a lot of people were doing that because I was doing that. I would send it to Twitter and then sometimes just delete the tweet.
Correct.
And I didn't realize a lot of people were doing that. So no, I do like that ability, but I feel like, if you have Xbox and you take a screenshot in the game and they don't have a dedicated screenshot button like the Switch does, it will send it to your app automatically. So you just go to your app and you can share right from there. And I understand why Nintendo didn't do that because they just don't want to support having all of these photos just flooding in. And you're talking about just pressing the one button on the controller, so your kid can go ba 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 ba, and next thing you know, John, Nintendo's doing all that.
My kid's favorite thing to do is when we play Mario Kart is take pictures.
Right.
Yeah. So I have to go in weekly and delete pictures.
But what I'm saying is, it would be nice to be able to go into your gallery and select a few pictures and then say send to app.
And even if the app has a cap of 50 images per person, something small, because once you have it on your phone, then you just transfer it to your phone library and you can delete it from the app.
Right.
It's
how
silly.
many pictures are you going to send to the app? You're going to send the ones that you care to share anyway. So, but they send you 2 QR codes. You have to scan with your camera. How many people actually know that you can use your camera to scan a QR code in the first place? And it's just a little clunky, but I'm glad it's there. But and you can batch them together, but still,
this doesn't
it's
work with video, does it? I don't think I've tried it.
You can send a video. Yeah, you can do one video.
Yeah,
so I think you can send up to 10 pictures at a time, or you can send one video. Great.
So technically, if someone really wanted to make like a small review of a game, you could do it this way. It would be very time consuming. But if you don't have the ability to, like, for example, I don't have an ability to do stream in or video capture, right? If I wanted to do the famous John Blanco 30-second review, I could maybe do it with 10 different 30-second clips. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah.
It's an option. All
It's
I'm
an
saying
option.
is it's an option. Now, what else do we have? We have some new icons, which is great, right? Sure. It's always nice to have another option to change your avatar icon. And then friend activity. I guess just another way to see what your friends have been up to, how many hours they've spent games. I mean, which you could kind of already see, but now you can kind of see by game, I guess.
By game. I really like
I like
it.
it too.
More
I
useful.
do like it. But
are you the kind of person that checks your friends' profiles to see what they've been playing? Because I do it a lot.
not often. I mean, I done, but not often.
Okay. I do it. I'm kind of stalkerish with it. I like to see, what's Drew been playing? What's Jesse been playing? I like to see, and then I'll like make comments to friends like, oh man, you're playing a lot of that game, or, that sort of thing. This is like a great way to go based on game. It's like, yeah, who's been playing Age of Calamity? How long have people been playing Age of Calamity? So I really love this feature. I'm very excited that this was one too that you never really heard people say they want to know. I never heard people say we need to see by game.
It reminded me that I do need to go on my friends list and I think clean it up a little bit. I've had a lot of people that I don't really know who they are. I think over the years you add people and then you're like, I don't know who that person is, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I mean that's really all I have for the Switch updates, John. Let's wrap that one up.
Number 7.
So Joy-Con drift has been a problem. I think it's one of the big black marks on the Switch. I don't know how Nintendo screwed this up. I don't know how Xbox and PlayStation have better D-pads than the Switch. The Switch has just the Joy-Cons have problems, and the biggest one, of course, is Joy-Con drift. We talk about this, Drew. When have we gone like a week in the dads community without talking about someone's controller being sent in or someone having drift? It's a constant problem. It's a problem
that I don't know what you people are doing. I'm either like God's gift that I never had an issue, knock on wood, right? But what are you people doing? I mean, are you jerking off the joysticks? Like, I don't understand.
I think Nintendo knows more about what causes it. I've never seen a distinct reason why some people get it and some people don't. I've heard like environment, humidity, there's dust, and it is a dust issue. Maybe not even dust, like grime, dirt, something. But something gets into those mechanics and can mess up your controller. And the thing that it's like we're over 3 years in. We're getting close on almost 4 years of the Switch. Wow. Oh my God. We're like only a few months away from 4 years of the Switch. And people still will like send Joy-Cons in, you have to send the whole Switch Lite in, send a Pro controller in. And it's unfortunate because if you have to send a Switch Lite in, you're sending your whole system in. And if you're one of those people that only has a couple Joy-Cons, sending your Joy-Cons in is like sending in your whole system. But, over time, we figured out better ways to do these things. I put together a video this week because one of our members was having some issues with their Joy-Con drift. And it's kind of like, it was a very similar video to what Tim had done, but I had since made some changes. So my first video was using a Q-tip and using like isopropyl to clean up the Joy-Con. The problem with that is you can't really get the Joy-Con into the mechanics. And then Tim did a video where he uses the WD-40, the contact cleaner, not the regular WD-40.
Yep.
And then he would spray it and then use a Q-tip. I have since found that the best way to do it is to take that WD-40 and just blast it into the controller for like a half second or whatever, and then just spin the controller 360. So you don't have to use a Q-tip. You don't have to put anything in there and just spin it. And what it does is it just gets that cleaner going through all the mechanicals inside the Joy-Con. And it fixes it really, really well. And I've fixed my son's Switch Lite. I fixed several of my Joy-Cons this way. Now, the drift will come back, Drew. I mean, I know you can't believe this, but drift will come back. And that's why I always say, don't send it to Nintendo. I understand, but don't send it to Nintendo because you're going to come back and then it's going to happen again. And so at some point you need to figure out how to fix it yourself.
You got to be gentle. You got to respect the Joy-Cons like they're your wife's nipples. And just are delicate with them, not too hard, not too rough. You got to find that happy medium,
Right. Yeah.
A little circular motions, like you're saying. You don't need anything big.
I don't know why you don't get it. I know some people get it worse than I do. I don't know what it is. And you play your Switch a lot. I don't know what it is.
I would say I'm a medium to high user. Yeah.
Yeah. And you got little kids too. But yeah, just some people just get it. Multiple Joy-Cons, whatever. So check our channel for that one. It's the Dad's After Dark Show channel. It's gotten a lot of views. It's funny. It's gotten a lot more views than the 30-second reviews, but I think they're very important videos. And I think as we find quicker and easier ways to do things, we just have to keep kind of upping our knowledge. And I think it's a problem. The really scary part, Drew, about Joy-Con drift is I think a lot of people don't even realize they have it. And there's a lot of casual.
That's my problem.
Yeah. Well, and you can test it. I mean, if you watch the video, it shows you how to test it. Yeah. And my sister is a very casual gamer, and she could have it and she wouldn't know. She would just think she's doing something wrong. Sometimes with drift, you just think it's like it's you or it's just the way the game works. Then you don't realize, no, it's this drift problem. So you definitely should check out your Joy-Cons and see, because you can definitely improve them. In fact, when I did the video, I didn't have a particularly broken Joy-Con at the time, but I did have a Joy-Con that wouldn't do a perfect 360 spin. And you can see it, and then you can see it get fixed. So give that a check out, and hopefully it helps somebody out there.
Well, that's all we can hope for.
Number 6.
All right, question time. 2 questions this week we're going to go over because we're always on time strain, right? So the first one here is from Bald Seagull. He says, got a question for the show. Based on some conversation I heard in the last podcast, do you have any game recommendations to play while sitting on the couch while the wife watches some show you aren't interested in? Oh, story of my life. I think it has to play well in handheld mode and ability to pause mid-play in case the wife asks a question or suddenly wants to talk. Pokemon Sword and Shield qualifies here for me. I would wander around battling Pokemon or searching around for items fairly easily while I was on a couch and a show was on in the background. Great question. Stuff like that I find is great. Like something like Mario 35 is not good for the obvious reasons. Fortnite would be terrible. All those types of games, online gaming, it's not good. You talked about Pokemon. That is a good one. I think Hyrule Warriors is actually a great one for this as well. Just being current right now, and that's what everyone's talking about. But I find one that I loved playing was Diablo was a good one if you're playing not online, and it's for that same reason. Exploration, when you're playing, I find when I'm sitting on a couch playing, it's more of at nighttime like that. It's not really like I'm focused. I'm not playing on the TV. I don't need to do any of the big massive storylines. I'm more trying to find like nooks and crannies or backtracking levels I haven't done yet. And Diablo was a good one that I played a lot just sitting on the couch like that. What about you, John?
Yeah, I think it's important not to play anything online. Anything you can't pause. Ask my son when we're trying to call him down for dinner and he's in the middle of a Fortnite match.
Not good.
You have to play something that you can pause at a moment's notice if you want to pay attention to something on the screen. And I definitely recommend, very similar to the Pokemon, any kind of grinding. And so, Hyrule Warriors was like that.
Dragon Quest. That was the other one I played a lot of. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yep.
Dragon Quest, Dark Souls, like anything where
Yeah.
Yeah, don't think you're not, and don't like try to advance in like Xenoblade Chronicles thing. Just go,
Right.
I'm gonna go in this area and I'm just gonna run around in circles and fight guys and just level up. But I'm not gonna try to advance the story because maybe you're playing. A lot of times I'll play without headphones on
Right.
and I'm just playing totally muted. And so I don't want to advance the story. I don't want to get myself into something. Just go around and grind.
Agreed.
Yeah, Mario 35 is terrible. You can't pause it. Avoid the online. And Pokemon is another great example. I did that too when I was trying to discover new Pokemon in certain areas, and you're just like going around doing fights over and over. Yeah, grinding is the best way. I can't think of anything else. I've played Celeste, especially some of that Farewell DLC while watching TV, because if I do need to interrupt myself, you've only been playing that particular level for a few seconds in between deaths. It's not like, where was I in this? It's like, well, I died and now I'm just starting all over again. So anything like that, but nothing too complicated to jump.
It's a good question, though. I'm always looking for good stuff like that, or any type of game too that it's funny because I talked a little bit about my wife playing Harry Potter, and the perfect example of she plays at she'll play when we're watching TV at nighttime, and it'll be like 10 o'clock on a work night, and I'm like, Amy, it's a bedtime, let's go to bed. She's like, well, I'm almost done with this level, like. So those Lego games can actually be very long levels, and if you don't beat the level, you can't save it. So those are other good examples too, where find games that you can save at any point. That is a big key part. Or if you just turn it off, you're not really losing anything major. So that's another one I would say.
Yeah, and you guys have a family Switch, so you can't, like, I'll play games, I'll be in the middle of something and I'll just put it to sleep and put it in the dock, and I know nobody's going to pick it up.
Correct.
But you don't have that. So like tomorrow your kid's playing Sonic Team Racing and it's like bloop.
Yep.
No save file. Yeah. You're out.
I'll tell you what, though, the Switch, I don't play other systems, but I love that home button for that very reason, right? That home button is a lifesaver sometimes, where you can just, put it to sleep and you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But, all right. Great question. Thank you. The next question here is from Dan Blotfort Retro. He asks, have you ever regretted a console purchase? Yeah. You want to go first or you want me to?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I've got two. One of them's actually retro, and because this is Dan, I'll talk about it. I did a move this one time. It was after a breakup, and I was moving out of my apartment, and a buddy of mine, he was also a gamer, and like while we were doing the move, we got to talking about past video game systems, and I talked about the TurboGrafx. And he's like, oh, I never played the TurboGrafx. And I was like, it's so good. It's so good. And I was talking to him a lot about all the games and this and that. And I decided while we were doing that move, I want to buy a TurboGrafx. And I looked online, and it's funny. The TurboGrafx, the Turbo Duo existed. It was like, it wasn't even retro. It was like, oh no, the Turbo Duo, I can still go onto a website and buy a Turbo Duo. I was like, wow. And I actually bought it because I had a bunch of TurboGrafx games still, but I did not have the system. I don't know why exactly, but I did. I had like 20 TurboGrafx games and no system. So I bought the Turbo Duo, and the funny part is I regretted my purchase before it even arrived in the mail. I just regretted it. I think I spent $200-something on it. I was like, I don't need this. It showed up. I played it for a tiny little bit, and then I didn't do anything with it. And then like a few months later, I sold the Turbo Duo, and I regret selling the Turbo Duo because now that Turbo Duo is worth like $1,000, and I probably sold it for less than what I paid, and I included all my TurboGrafx games with it, and so I probably, if I still had it today, it would be worth about $1,000 more than probably what I sold it for. So that's like a double, right? Regretted buying it, regretted selling it. The one I regret the most was the Nintendo DS. Even back then, I would buy various models of them. But when I bought a new model of the DS, I would sell my old model of the DS. I wouldn't keep them all, like the 3DSs that I was doing. And I sold my blue It was like a I don't think it was the original one, or I think it was the extra large model, and it was blue, very pretty. And I sold it to get a DSi. So it was like the more rectangular, smaller one. And I got the black gloss one. I think that might have been the first DSi, or maybe the white one.
It was.
I got the black gloss one. And the first minute that I had this thing is when I realized you got your fingerprints on everything.
Oh, yeah.
And I am like a clean freak, and it's like you couldn't hold the system without just feeling the oils of your fingertips come off onto your system, and then you look at it and you're like, oh God, and then you're rubbing it on your shirt, and you're like, there's no way to keep it clean. You had and I regretted it, and I had that thing for like a year before I got a better DS.
Yeah.
But I regretted that one from the first minute I had it.
Yeah, I actually have that one and the white one, I think, sitting in my nightstand. But
can you attest? Can you attest to the fingerprints on the
after the show? I'm gonna go attest to it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to remember. I guess I don't really remember that as well as you do.
Oh, it's hideous.
So mine's a different type of story because I don't really have many regrets because I bought typically just every Nintendo system and never got rid of any of them. I have them all. So, however, do I feel bad about this story? Yes and no. So back in the day when there was no such thing really as pre-orders or stuff like that, back in the Wii days, right, John? The Wii was probably one of the only systems I slept outside of Target to make sure I got one. And I brought Amy at the time, was my new girlfriend who probably thought I was some crazy nerd. And actually a buddy, it was three of us. And we sat outside on Thanksgiving night, right? Because it came out on Black Friday.
Did it really? Oh, wow.
It did. So Thanksgiving night after Thanksgiving dinner, we went there and then we waited for Target at whatever it opened at 7 a.m. And I was the asshole that bought two systems. So I had Amy buy one and I bought one. And at the time they were, I remember, $250 each. So $500. So I did it so I could sell my second system. And I look back at it as what an asshole. But at the same time, I sold it for $500. So I literally got my Wii for free.
Yeah.
But, nowadays that I'm older, more mature, I have kids, I get it. It's not the right ethical thing to do. Right, John?
Yeah.
It's not.
You were being a dick.
I was being a dick because I was being selfish. And some poor little kid out there didn't get a Wii. Or some kid did get a Wii, just his parent paid $500 for it.
Yeah, their mommy had to pay a whole bunch for it, and you...
So I kind of regret that. I feel bad about it in life, but at the same time, I did a free Wii out of it. I guess.
It's good. The good part is you actually do regret it. You actually think about it, and it makes you feel bad.
It does.
Number 5.
I have a story.
I love stories. I love story time. I still have the memory of your little regretted banging that shit story. So this one better top that.
Wait, what? What story?
Remember that was the last episode? Or you went over to the girl's apartment.
Oh,
I loved it. That was a great story. So I'm expecting a similar one.
I still wonder what that would have been like. What kind of experience that would have been. Interesting. No, this is about cat piss, Drew.
Oh,
I've got a problem. So right before the pandemic hit, when we knew what was going on, and probably I should not have done it, but my work had basically, we were working from home. We just started. My kids were actually still going to school, but their school had just been like the next week they weren't going back to school. And we had rats previously, and the last of the rats had passed away, and it had been a few months.
Pet rats. You didn't have infested rats in your house.
But it was voluntary rats.
Weird.
And
but okay.
So they had passed away, and the question had come up: are we going to get rats to replace them? We said no, but we said maybe we'll get another cat. And
hold on a second. Like rats, not a hamster, not a gerbil, a rat.
Rats are good pets. They're good pets.
I mean, I'm not sure I've ever heard of anybody in my life have a pet rat. besides
Oh,
Harry
it's
Potter or whatever, Ron Weasley
yeah,
or you?
Ron. Yeah.
Ron.
No, they're good pets. They have a lot of personality, but let's focus on the cats here, Drew. Let's
Okay,
get
cats.
past the rats now. Okay. And so we were all going to be home in the house, and we thought this is a good time to get a new cat because you have to break in cats.
Yep,
They don't
agreed.
just get along. And so we went to the Cat Care Society, and like I said, this was when COVID was rising. We shouldn't have gone, but they were open, and we didn't know, and so we went. And we ended up adopting a cat. The cat's name at the adoption place was Taco Cat, but we named Taco Cat Cannoli, and so we have these two cats. And of course, our cat hated the new cat. Both the cats are girls. We have a girl named Joni, and then we got this new cat Cannoli. And we figured it's going to take a couple weeks to bring them in, but we're home. And at the time, we were sweet and innocent and thought, oh, I'll be home from work for a few weeks, maybe. And still home. Haven't been to the office.
And you love it.
And I do love it. Anywho, fast forward from March, I think it was like March 14th to what's today, December 6th. Cats still fucking hate each other. And the thing is, sometimes one cat can walk by the other cat and one cat won't mind, but the other cat's like, you know? And then they'll switch. Then, like, the other cats will be near each other, and one cat doesn't care, but the other cat does care. And what's happening now is my pre-existing cat, Joni, is marking her territory by
Lord.
peeing. And it, like, our downstairs, our stairs down to our basement, I mean, it smells gross.
Well, don't they say cat piss when they're marked? It's like worse than a skunk. Like they're like marking. It's not just piss.
Well, and it's happening in your house, which makes it worse.
God.
So like there are times like we were like scrubbing the carpets with water and then spraying some stuff on it. We hired carpet cleaners to come like a couple months ago. And with the fancy equipment, and we thought that would really help to let's pull it out of the carpet a little bit. That didn't really help. One thing that happened was my wife had put the cat bed for the new cat in my office, and old cat pissed in it.
Ha!
And it kind of ran through a little bit, got onto the carpet a little bit, and ever since that day, my old cat will come into my office and pee on the carpet, and I'm telling you, man, I get so mad. So I've done so many times where I've scrubbed the floor, sprayed it down, vacuumed it, do the whole rigmarole. But there are times like I smell like piss, my office smells like piss. It's just the worst, and I don't know when my cats are gonna begin to like each other, when my old cat's going to stop marking the territory. I don't know, and any of this is going to happen.
So does the new cat piss or no?
No, the new cat's actually really good. She doesn't scratch. She doesn't piss. She's a pretty good cat. I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks after we got that cat, I started to talk about moving that cat on to another family because I knew that my original cat was not going to accept this cat ever.
Is that still
and
an option?
I did not want my family to get too connected to the new cat yet.
Yeah.
And I knew we couldn't wait forever because they were going to get attached. And now there's no way we can get rid of any of the cats.
I think I have a solution. Do you want me to send Goomba over there for a week and just no bullshit, guys. I'm the police dog here, and I'm just gonna lay down the rules.
But then Goomba's gonna shit all over my carpets, and then what am I gonna do?
It's possible.
Yeah, it's possible.
I can't guarantee that he won't.
You know what I've taken to doing? As a retro game collector, one of the really great tips you can give is when people have NES cartridges and things that's in a smoker's house.
Mm-hmm.
And you take it out of the box from eBay, and you're like, oh God, you smell that smoke.
Yeah.
One of the ways to fix that is to wrap the cartridge in a dryer sheet, and then wrap it all in a plastic bag, and just leave it for a day or 2 days or whatever. and just leave it somewhere for like a day. And so I've been putting dryer sheets. I put like 2 dryer sheets on my floor, and then I have dryer sheets on the stairs downstairs, and they just suck up
So it's
the
working.
smell. Oh, it really, like, I haven't smelled the piss in my room. The problem is, am I gonna just have dryer sheets on the floor for the rest of my life?
Yes,
Like,
you are.
is that
No.
what my life is now?
You know,
So-
Amy eliminated dryer sheets. She now uses like those wool balls. You ever see those things?
I
They look
think I
like
have
big
heard of that.
snowballs. I don't fucking know. You know what you need? I think you need a dog.
We have commented on if we had a dog that the cats would sort of like cower together and maybe they would
Yeah.
like bond a little bit.
And piss on the dog probably, but I think you should get a little dog. You don't have to go crazy. Don't get a big dog. Get something small that doesn't shed, like a Goomba. You need a Goomba 2.
Goomba 2.
Goomba 2.
Get a stack of Goombas. You can get the stack.
Yeah. Why not? Go for it. Fuck it. So cat piss. What a story,
yeah.
John. I love your stories.
Number 4.
Rumor mill going on here, folks. And when I say rumor, John, I'm not going to lie. This rumor got my dick a little hard. I mean, there's a rumor on the streets out there that a new Mario Sports type of, sports in quotation marks. We don't know what sport it is. Mario Sports game will be coming to the Nintendo Switch the first half of 2021. John, this is the bigger part of the news is it's being developed by Camelot. Do you know what that means? Camelot has developed probably one of my top 3 video games of all time. And that is no other than Mario Golf Toadstool Tour, John, from the Nintendo GameCube. Camelot has created pretty much all the Mario Golf games, Toadstool Tour, the Advanced Tour, the World Tour for the 3DS that everyone loves, which I don't really like. They did Mario Tennis Aces, Superstars, all the tennis games pretty much. So the question is what the hell could this be? And I'm telling you right now, if this comes out to be a Mario Golf game, similar to the way the GameCube game was of Toadstool Golf, I'm telling you right now, call me crazy, I want that more than I want Breath of the Wild 2.
Wow.
That's how excited I am for this game.
I'm not excited for this at all, but I know you're big into Mario Sports Golf. I feel like did Camelot do the Final Smash? What was that game on the Wii
Ultra
U?
Smash?
Yeah.
Ultra Smash. They did do that.
Okay. Between that and Aces was obviously a better game, but like I feel like with the campaign mode, it just falls a little flat. I don't have a good association with Camelot, so I'm not hyped about this rumor. I would be hyped if there was a Mario Sports game coming from like Square Enix. Like, I know it's not going to happen, but I mean, like, Platinum or somebody different. But Camelot just makes me think of Mario Tennis Aces.
No, they're polished. They're good. Remember for GameCube, I don't remember who made the Mario baseball game. That game was good.
I liked that game.
I loved that story map. And you had to go you had to unlock the characters in each world. And then you fought that one major character in their stadium. Yeah, remember Donkey Kong punched the ball with like a boxing glove. That game was good.
So that was by Namco.
Namco, yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I like that one, and I think overall I like the Mario baseball games the most, especially because we didn't really get many real baseball games anymore. But
the second one that came out on Wii, what that other one come out on? It wasn't as good. I think it came out on Wii.
Yeah, the Mario Strikers would be. I mean, I'd be really excited for Mario Strikers too.
Yeah, but who made that one? That's another one I'd have to look up. I don't know.
It's so good. Now I just made myself want to play
Strikers
more.
is really, that game was just worked. The Wii one was okay, but not nearly as good as
Next
what was the
level,
second one?
Next level games. Mario Strikers Recharged or something like that.
Charged. I think it was just Charged. That was okay, but not as good. The GameCube one was just so polished. GameCube has some of the best games. It really does. Anyway, whatever this is, I'm super pumped. The good news is we know it's not a tennis game, right?
It better not be. No.
99.9% sure it's not a tennis game.
I agree.
What's left? Everybody wants Mario Golf. It could be baseball. It could be strikers. I'll take any one of those, but I really want golf. Let's just leave it at that. I want Mario Golf.
I think no matter what the three are, I think it'll be pretty good. Because I mean, I'm not totally. I'm like, I think of them, Mario Tennis I like the least.
Yeah.
So I'd be excited for anything. I just hope that it's a real good polished job. I just feel like they've had a couple.
Yeah.
They've just fallen short lately, and it's like, look, I have this association with Camelot. What else has Camelot done? I mean, I just feel like what if they? I'm gonna look them up.
In Shining in the Darkness, Shining Force, a lot of Shining Force games. I think that was like what got them going. A lot of on the Sega systems, and then I think they really started to get into the Mario Golf and sports games. Is what they created all the Mario Golf games, even the original 64 one.
So weird, yeah.
But yeah, I don't really see them doing much else. All they really publish now is like a game here and there for Nintendo. That's it. It is a weird thing. But like Waluigi was always kind of like their mascot, Camelot. Like, it's just awesome. I'm pumped. It's got to be something good. As long as it's not one of those Mario sports games, which has like 7 sports. I don't want that shit.
Give me one good one. Yeah.
Exactly.
I agree.
All right. So super excited. Can't wait to see what that is.
Number 3.
Super Nintendo World, folks. Japan Universal Studios. We officially got a date, February 4th, 2021. John, this is just 8 weeks away. This place is an adult like me or you dream come true.
Oh yeah.
Now, I mean, have you watched the videos, the pictures, all that good stuff?
I have. I haven't seen any show the ride. Have you? Just I've seen the queue and the Bowser. It looks so cool. All the little trophies, all the like the cup race trophies, looks really cool. But I haven't seen like going through the ride. But I tell you, everything that I've seen so far, where the cars and everything like that, oh my god, like I want to be there so bad. And now I just like frantically trying to figure out like where we get this first in America and when.
Yeah.
Or we're going to Japan, Drew.
Yeah, I mean, the rumor was originally to like 2022 in California and 23 in Florida, but I don't know. I don't know if that's true. Yeah, so they're going to have 3 attractions each, I believe. They have obviously the Mario Kart attraction. Then there's the Yoshi's Adventure level, which looks really cool. It's pretty much you go through a regular like Super Mario World, I guess you could say. A game, I mean a level, I don't know. And then the other one is like, I'm not really sure exactly what the other T challenge or power up band T challenge as they call it. I have to look more into that one. But it's funny because it is called Super Nintendo World, but yet they only really spotlight Mario. Now there is rumors they've already started the expansion, John. I don't know if you heard about this. The expansion of the world has already started, and it's going to be Donkey Kong.
Perfect.
Perfect. I agree. I think that fits. A lot of people talk about Zelda and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, we love Zelda, and I'm sure they'll incorporate something. But I don't know. This just looks absolutely awesome. I can't wait. I'm excited. I'm excited to see. I'm excited just to see. I think in the next month or so, like you said, we'll see more videos and playthroughs of what's happening. So.
Yeah, and I like. Usually, I don't like to see those point of view, rides, but like it's going to be years till we actually have this here, and it might be different. So I'll probably watch it. Have you seen the food too? Because we've seen the food previously.
Yeah, some of the foods at the shops and even like the little restaurants they have, just all awesome. Very cool.
Yeah, like super sweet drinks, and they have like these pancake tacos. I've heard some good things about those. I want to go. I really want to go. Japan won't let us fly there.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather
let us
wait.
in.
But we'll see. Super Nintendo World coming soon. Who knows?
Number 2.
Holiday sales. This is the time of year when the eShop and a lot of all the shops just have insane deals. We had Black Friday deals, Cyber Week deals. I think some of them are still going on. I think some of them have passed. Drew, did you get any good Black Friday deals or anything?
I did. So I picked up 3 games. You guys all heard about them, but let me tell you how much I paid for them. So Just Dance 2021. I looked for this. I couldn't decide where I wanted to go. I had to go to Walmart. Actually, I went to Walmart Black Friday just to pick up a couple small things. And there's a GameStop right next door. So I said, let me go to GameStop. They had a copy of Just Dance 2021 for Black Friday special for $25. And I am part of that stupid club for whatever reason. You get like a free $5 coupon every month. So I did it for $20, John. I got Just Dance 2021 for $20. And then I went to the eShop, a couple eShop sales going on. So Team Sonic Racing, I got digitally for $20 as well. And then I got the Lego Harry Potter, all 7 games digitally for $12.
Wow.
What a deal there. So for really $52, I got 3 games, 2 digital, 1 physical, and yeah, I mean, great deals. We've been playing them all so far, so definitely got my money's worth there.
That
what about
Just Dance is just insane because that game came out like I don't even think it was a month ago.
I know. I can't believe I did it for that cheap.
We hesitated over the cost and like, oh my god! And that price you got it physical or digital? Because I think the price
physical
was for both. Yeah,
physical for $20.
Physical for $20. The game just came out, so I'm really curious why that is. Is it just because it's just it's Black Friday, or is it not selling like it used to sell?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Some of these systems are getting more powerful and more serious, and maybe people aren't doing these casual things anymore. I don't know.
Awesome.
I went over to Best Buy to pick up Age of Calamity.
You walked out a lot more.
Yes. Obviously this year Black Friday started earlier. Stores don't want a bunch of people coming in on the same day. I picked up Spyro, which was a game I actually had been wanting. I've one of those games where it's like I will buy it on sale, $20, which is great because it's 3 games in one. A game I had been looking for to get cheap for a long time, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. That's on PS4. That was $20. Finally pulled the trigger on that, and then I was checking out the eShop, and this was actually when we were looking for a Mayhem game. For a little while, I was lobbying you on Super Blood Hockey. I was like, how about some Super Blood Hockey, we can try that because we have at least one member, Chris, who wants to do a sports game. And one day we will do a sports game, maybe this Camelot game that you talked about.
Yes.
But yeah, no, it was $4.49. This is the one that looks like ice hockey, right? Like classic NES ice hockey. But they have like modes where you have like 20 on 20. They have like career modes and franchise modes and all that. I'm totally into that stuff. And it was $4.49. It's like, I'm going to play this. I haven't started it yet, but I will. Probably fun. Pretty soon. Yeah, it looks fun. Drew, I wish you could play this online. You and I think, would have a blast with it.
I think so too.
It's a local only. So when we meet someday. We're going to meet in Disney somewhere someday. And I'll bring my Switch with me and we'll play Super Blood Hockey while we rest our feet.
Sounds fun to me.
And then I also got Limbo, another game that I've been wanting for years. Limbo and Inside are both like connected to one another in some way. Limbo's the original. It's just kind of like a linear 2D run from the beginning to the end. There's a whole big story. It's kind of creepy. $3.30. I just couldn't ignore it anymore. So it's downloaded. I'll be playing that one soon as well. Maybe as soon as Fire Emblem finally breaks me. So yeah, that's what I got.
Very good.
And number 1.
Okay, Drew, we have waited long enough on this. We didn't talk about it before. We're talking about it now. Number 1 topic of the week: Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity.
It is.
So this is our Mayhem game. And like we said before, you have to beat the game to qualify, essentially, because it is based on percentage. And you only see the percentage once you've rolled the credits on this game. Luckily, this is a Nintendo first-party game. There was no excuse. It is the prequel story to Breath of the Wild. And I don't want to go too big. We are not going too big into spoilers here. I know a lot of people are still playing through this game. We'll do maybe a full review spoiler episode, maybe next week.
Maybe.
But
we'll see.
We have both played the heck out of this game. We both rolled the credits. What do you think about it, Drew?
Let me say this the best way I can explain it. I've thought about this a lot. And how can I tell somebody what this game is? And I'm going to use a reference we all know all about. Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park is a fabulous film. Jurassic Park 2, okay. When Jurassic Park 3 was announced and came out, before I went into that movie, right, it's like, do I need this movie? You know what it's going to be about. It's going to be dinosaurs, some weird storyline. It was fun, but the story just doesn't really do it for me, if that sounds right. You know,
right?
It's like that, you know, sequel or third movie in a franchise where it's like it's fun because it's nostalgia. It's the idea of the movie, but it's not really needed, and it wasn't necessarily the best story. And it's funny because we all know what the story is, right? We all played Breath of the Wild. We knew what happened 100 years ago. But for some reason, it's like, I didn't really need any more backstory. And I'll be honest, the story kind of sucked.
Didn't like it?
What was it really like? I mean, I don't want to get into spoilers alert, but it's just everything that kind of happened. It's hard. I really don't want to spoil it for people.
So I don't think it's
good.
I don't think it's spoilery to say. If you really don't want to know anything about the game, you should probably fast forward a few minutes in this podcast. But this is. Can we agree that this is like a split timeline? There are two timelines to Breath of the Wild now. Okay, there is this timeline, which is changed by time travel, and then the timeline of Breath of the Wild, right? And I don't think anybody expected it, because when they announced this game, all of the banter was, oh my gosh, this game won't end well, because we know that everybody died, you know, back in the 100 years before Breath of the Wild.
Correct.
Except for Zelda, and except for Link, who nearly died. And we kind of expected this to be a bad news ending, and it was going to be interesting to see, how do you end a game on a total downer? And they said, well, it's a different timeline. And now my question will be what the timeline is for Breath of the Wild 2. But that's, you know, we'll talk about that when we talk about Breath of the Wild 2. I think the story was great. And I think a lot of that had to do with the surprise that it wasn't what I expected because of the split timeline. And I loved some of those ending sequences. Those last few levels took a lot of time. They were long battles.
Hold on, back to the story, though.
Yeah.
I feel like...
I'm talking about this story.
When you have a movie or show, time travel is like the easy solution to anything. Yeah. Right? That's like, oh, we don't know how we're going to end it. We're going to incorporate time travel so it made sense. And I don't know, John. It didn't do it for me. It just was odd. It was forced. It felt out of place. Now, aside from that, was the story engaging, specifically towards the end, like you said, right? Yeah. But it's just like anything. It was more engaging in the point of, you know, Lord of the Rings at Helm's Deep. Like you were excited to see the battle happen and the outcome and how it happened, but you knew they were going to win. You knew the good guys were going to win, right? So it was engaging. Well,
that's true of every game, though. I mean, when is that true? You know the good guys are going to win. Well, sure.
Well, yeah, but it just sucks when it's a story that wasn't needed. You know, it was just a forced story that literally breaks Breath of the Wild. It breaks the story of Breath of the Wild where it doesn't make sense anymore. So like now it's like you said, what the fuck is Breath of the Wild 2 going to be? And what about the people that don't play Age of Calamity? Well, Breath of the Wild 2 still made sense.
Yeah,
I don't know.
If they adopt this timeline,
There's
they'd
no
be
way.
like, what?
No way they can.
What do you mean there's no way they can? Because how do you have this game, which is more recent, and then go back to the old timeline?
That's what the whole point is. The story fucked it up. They ruined it.
Yeah, you know, Kingdom Hearts kind of screwed it up because they have all these like side games that affect the timeline. So I get it. Like, you played Breath of the Wild. Now you're sitting down to play Breath of the Wild 2, and you're like, okay, what happens? But Age of Calamity should be canon, and so Age of Calamity should be the storyline that they changed time. The reason why time changed is because they came back knowing what had happened in the events of Breath of the Wild. How do you go back? It really is. It's almost like a sequel to Breath of the Wild because they're coming back in time, they know what happened. So technically that's a sequel. And now they've come back and they've corrected it. So that is a sequel. It's no longer a prequel. And they've changed the timeline. And now Breath of the Wild 2 should follow that timeline where everything
Breath
sort of
of the Wild 2 should technically still be a prequel to Breath of the Wild 1. It should, because how do you bridge that gap?
Well, that they've already fixed the timeline. They've changed the future, and now Breath of the Wild 2. Either way, Breath of the Wild 2 is going to take place where Ganon is defeated. But I guess what you're saying is in Age of Calamity, they defeat Ganon much earlier, and Zelda doesn't get those 100 years. So, and Link isn't dead for 100 years. Yes. So I guess you're right. Is Link still alive 100 years later because he's not in that cryogenic chamber anymore?
And why go to the chamber?
Right.
Right?
I don't know. You know what I'm still confused about is the story of Breath of the Wild is that Zelda is battling Ganon for 100 years. And that's never made sense to me because why did it have to be 100 years? And so why is she still alive? I don't understand. I don't understand it.
I was hoping that some of those answers or those questions were answered in Age of Calamity, and they weren't. It muddied the waters even more. Mm-hmm. It was just they should have all just fucking died. I hate to say it that way. They should have just stayed with the script. You can't deviate the script. You can't make Jurassic Park 3 and say that they opened the park. That's the Lost World. That's a whole other story there. But you know what I'm saying? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. But anyways, let's move on from the story, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So we both beat it. I think I ended with I have like 42, 43 hours. I don't know what you were at.
I think I'm a little under that, but I'm close.
Okay. I'm at 72% complete now.
That is insane, dude.
So
you are clear 18% further than me.
So I
and I'm bored to death.
This afternoon. I said I wasn't going to. I did. When I played the entire game, I think I died a total of 3 times. Now, I think after I beat the game, I went back and played some new missions. I have now died 15 more times. The new quests are absolutely ridiculous. I just played a mini mission where I had to fight 7 bobclins, whatever the hell they're called.
Bokoblin?
No. What's that? Was the point to your
moblins?
Moblins. I had to fight 7 moblins, and if you get hit once, you die.
Right, but if you die, they save your progress pretty liberally.
Sometimes it's like there's like 2 checkpoints. They have now that's new. I don't remember the original Hyrule Warriors having that.
A lot is actually different in this game, right? I mean, we can talk about those differences, but there's a lot that's different in this game. This game feels different than Hyrule Warriors did, right?
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But they're definitely harder. And I'm going to tell everyone out there listening, if you do want to go for that 100% completion, I don't know what it is yet. I haven't cheated myself, but there is a special unlock of something if you 100% complete the game.
Okay.
Now, here's my beef with that. I hate games that do this, John. And a lot of games do it. If I 100% complete a game, why the hell do I want to play it anymore?
I see. So you're saying because you get an unlock at 100%, but you're done. When you 100%, you're done.
Give me the unlock at like 80% or 75%, or when I beat the game and encourage me to go back.
Right. Yes. I absolutely agree with that. Yes.
So I don't know. It could be like an additional cutscene. I don't know what it is. So maybe it's not an item. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I have heard there is something you get at 100%. That's all.
And I gotta say, I mean, going for 100% in this game is insanity. It's not that it's super hard, and it is hard. It's not anything like that. It is very demotivating, very repetitive. And maybe all the games like this are. Hyrule Warriors, my complaint with Hyrule Warriors was in order to like 100% the game, you did have to do the levels many times over to find those spiders and things like that in the levels. And I guess it really goes to that. I didn't really realize it until I finished this game, how different this game is from the other Warriors games. It feels more linear. Like you have to do something and you're doing it in order. Whereas the original Hyrule Warriors, a lot of time you spent, it was like, oh, hurry up! This gate is going to go down, right? What do they call them? The fortress is going to go down. Yep. Oh, go to the west, go to the east one. It's going to go down. Got to go up north now and all that. And I didn't really feel like that. It was more linear, where if you had a whole map, you were going to travel through the map in a more linear process. Go beat this guy here, then go here, then go here, then go around. And then you're done. There wasn't a lot of having to go back and keep your forts up. No, what do they call them? Not forts. They're
strongholds. No.
Strongholds. Yeah, like there's all
so
that.
Let me ask you, if you had to pick one Hyrule, which one do you like better? Hyrule Warriors.
And I have to say I like the style in Age of Calamity because Hyrule Warriors felt like frantic. You're constantly having to beat hordes of enemies to like keep these strongholds up. And in this game, it just had a more linear feel. You were following a story. Mm-hmm. And you come across and have to beat up a bunch of guys. And it's super repetitive. You have to take this fort and you have to you have to hit 1 million guys. It's super easy. There's no challenge at all. And then the gatekeeper comes up and you beat him and it's probably another moblin. And it's just super repetitive, but
it is.
I like the linearity of it.
I did enjoy the art style, but I'm gonna go the original, and I think why, for two things specifically. I think the characters, I think you have more attachment to in the first one because it's the whole Zelda canon versus Breath of the Wild canon, right? I felt those a lot of times, even playing as champions or some of the other characters. It's like, I don't know. I didn't have a strong connection because I played with these or met these characters in one game, and I played them 3 years ago. Versus the original Hyrule Warriors, I played characters that I've grown up seeing and coming across forever. Also, in the first one, they had, remember the ball and chain item? I spent forever upgrading that because if you upgraded it, you could get the chain chomp, and you could use chain chomp as your weapon. Mm-hmm. So they had so many cooler upgrades to weapons. I just felt more. I hated.
I know what you're going to say.
Going through after every level and going through every shop, buying the ingredients I needed. Yeah. I hated going into every single. Then I had to go into every character for every single blacksmith and decide if I wanted to fuse my weapons, if I wanted to sell them, and you had to do it for every character. It is so repetitive, and it was like, what is the point of this? Like, it's just, it was too much.
And you can get lost in that and really waste your money if you just kept fusing and fusing and fusing. There's a lot to the map. I like the map. From the demo, I liked the map, and it was like, oh, here's all these places you can go. I like that style. Hyrule Warriors had like this linear chart, and then you picked
Yep.
an area to do. But I like the map because it's like, ooh, not only are you like going to do something on the map, but then it marks it blue, and you feel like you've completed more of the map, and you feel a little bit more accomplished. But the way they did it, oh my God, where you like finish a level and you're like, aha, and then like 6 more show up. It is very much like they didn't consult with a game psychologist. That it just you spend maybe 15 minutes on a side quest that you died a couple times in, and then you accomplish it, and then you just have you end up with having more to do as a result of it.
How about when you highlight over something and you're like, oh, you need to buy 10 fish. Let me go to the shop to see if I can buy those 10 fish. And then you're like, wait a minute, where was that quest? Because it moves you to that shop on the map. So you have to. It's just like little stuff like that. But I think this game also failed in a way where they didn't lock you in to. There was a couple levels you had to play as certain characters, right? But there was a lot of ones you to just change it to Link. And then even as Link, I felt like I was always using the Master Sword. I used the spear a lot in the beginning, but the Master Sword was just superior to everything. And it had, so the original Hyrule Warriors, I think, forced you a little bit more to use different weapons, where this one pretty much was use whatever you want. And what really bothered me is once you get into the later part of the game, you had to use a sword, because if you fought any of the Guardians, you needed your shield to reflect the beam. No other weapon could reflect the beam.
Right.
So, like, it's forcing you to do that stuff where, like, what if you were a fan of using a hammer? You know? You
didn't do it. Yeah. And that's always been the problem with these games to me, too, because I want to use different characters, but they're not leveled up. Yeah. And if you try to keep them all leveled up, and I did early on, I tried to keep them leveled up, and I was able to at great expense. But then the problem is, at the end of the game, you get a lot more characters, and they just kind of languish, and then you got to fuse their weapons, and you start to run out of money, and it just becomes difficult to do anything. But I mean, I was using Link all the time, and especially because of that mechanic where you can purchase leveling up for any character up to the highest level that you have, which is usually going to be Link because you have to use him a lot in the storylines. And so really when you use Link, even though you are like totally grinding him up, but it means it raises your level cap. And I don't know, it just you just like in the original Hyrule Warriors, I like using that character, the girl with the blue hair, Lana.
Yes.
I like her. And then you said they were interesting characters. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when they did their specials, they were like more fun. It was like they would do all these like sayings and stuff. Like Link's special in this game.
Oh my God.
He just like brings his sword down and then just goes, wah! It's like so lazy. And this is the special that you're going to use the most in the game. Make it cool. Make them be like, and like maybe some Zelda sign.
Opponent show up or something. Yeah, I mean,
make it engaging. Like it's the most boring one. All of the power-ups were kind of boring. The music was repetitive. After every level, you went back to the map screen and they played the same music with the same animation. Sometimes the sky was red. Sometimes it was dark. Sometimes it was light out. But it was so repetitive. There's a lot to complain about.
The only thing they did, which I'm surprised they did, was every character used like the remote bombs a certain way, or they did change it up. One that stuck out to me was Sidon, I think his name was, the Zora.
Yeah.
When you used his remote bombs, it was like someone was softball pitching him the bombs, and he would like hit it like a baseball bat. It was really cool.
I've never used him yet.
Yeah, so I was glad that they did different things like that. But I will say the controllers were well with the rods as well as your whatchamacallit, your different spells or whatever the word is.
Right. It will be like the fire, electric, ice, like those.
Yeah, they were easy. Those were easy to use. I did like that. And it was definitely some things where, you could shoot some enemies, which felt natural. Being, playing Breath of the Wild, you can use your bow as Link to, shoot some of the Lionels in the eyes or the face, or even stuff like that to kind of stun them. Yes. And there's nothing more satisfying than hearing that little ping when you like you hit an enemy in the eye or the face. But
yeah, their meter comes up.
But there's nothing that also showed you on that stuff. So people that didn't really play Breath of the Wild, which I doubt, it doesn't.
You wouldn't know.
Naturally remember to, yeah, you wouldn't know exactly.
And in this game, it was very repetitive. You have to fight if you try to play through 100%. And I mean, I'm at 54%, I think. And I swear to God, I feel like I played the same level 1,000 times. You have to fight Lynels, Moblins, and Hinoxes over and over and over and over. And every battle has the same feel to it. You hit them in a certain way, or you react to their attack in a certain way, and they have a little circle meter that comes up, and you like kind of break it down. When it gets to 0, you can do a special attack on them, and then you also have your other special attack you can do when you fill up your gauges.
Yep.
And then really that's it. You're just constantly trying to wear them down so that you can do the special attack on them.
It's brutal. It's brutal.
It is. It just takes so much time. There are levels where they go, okay, beat these 3 steel taluses. Are still like these, yeah. And you're just like, it's like it's gonna take me an hour to wear these guys down, and it's so boring. There is, like I said, if I had to describe it, I would say the game is messy. Like I said, the power-ups aren't fun. The game has really bad frame rate most of the time. The side quests are boring. The weapon upgrades are boring. They'll make a big production about the fact that you can now hit the Y button, after the 4th X.
Yeah.
I don't care.
And I don't even know when I'm jamming buttons.
Just jamming it.
I just jam it.
Exactly. It's messy, and in some ways you're right. Hyrule Warriors was a better game. Fire Emblem Warriors, better game. The only redeeming factor here is the story, and because it's so familiar.
The story was engaging. Don't get me wrong. I just didn't like it. Right? You didn't like it. You didn't watch a movie and say the story was a good story. They told the story well, but I didn't like it. I didn't want it to end that way. I wanted it to be a different story. It was definitely engaging. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
If Breath of the Wild never existed, it's fine. But Breath of the Wild existed.
I don't even know. I don't know how I'd feel if Breath of the Wild didn't exist, but
be more confused.
I feel like it does really cater to the addiction of completion, that you can sit down with it and go do a little side quest and, try to finish it a little bit more. And then sometimes when you do the side quest, you get something cool, like an outfit.
Yes.
Or something. Or you'll get some items so that you can, provide the materials to unlock something else. But really, sometimes you get to this weird point where you don't have enough materials to unlock any levels, and you have, some side levels, they're all kind of hard, and it's like, God, if I finish this one, maybe I'll have enough materials for some random thing or whatever. But you're just dryly just trying to complete it over, and I think that addiction is fun. I've had fun trying to finish everything. But my God, I am so over this game, and I'm only 54% of the way in. Oh.
As we wrap it up, the final question, are you going to continue for the 100%?
I will. I think I will at some point. So a couple of days ago, I said, I'm giving myself a day off. I'm not going to play this game for the day. I finished Ready Player 2. Like that. I was just because I was playing it way too much. And then I found that I didn't play it yesterday either. So I've gone a couple days and I haven't played it today either. And at some point I might get back to it, only because there's nothing else to play on the Switch right now. I'm playing some Fire Emblem, but really there's nothing for the next few months. So I'll probably come back to it. But man, it shouldn't feel so grindy and repetitive. To me, that's the thing. And every so often, you'll fight a new enemy. There was a point where I fought the fairy, right? Did you fight the fairy? And I was like, oh my God, it's something new. It was so exciting. And I was like, oh my God, it's a new character. But then the rest of the time, you're fighting the same enemies, the taluses, the moblins. So I wish that was better. And like I said, there's so many technical issues with the game. I really hope there's a patch to some of it. The camera, I don't think we talked about the camera. The camera is horrible. It is horrible. But in the end, the storyline and the last couple chapters and just the franticness of it really picks up, does a good job. It's not as polished as other Nintendo games. And I think I said this before, but really feel like this was a game that needed 3 or 4 months more polish. Yeah. But it was a holiday game and they had to get it out. If this game was coming out mid-year, I guarantee you they would have delayed it. Mm-hmm. But it was a holiday game and they had to get it out. It was their only holiday game. They had to get it out. So I am hopeful that they decided to release this game as it was, but they are working on some polish. I would love, so maybe I wait a little bit and come back to it, but I think polish is coming. Is coming.
Maybe. So here's my thing. Like you said, I don't know what else to play right now. I'll probably end up playing, Immortals, Phoenix Rising soon. But here's my fear, John. My fear is I'm 72% complete with 43 hours logged. My fear is the remaining 28% is like 25 hours of grinding and upgrading and trying to find those materials and replaying the same levels because I didn't get the material that I needed when I beat it. That's my fear, is though I have 20% left, it's going to be a long, long time. Do you know what I mean?
Gonna be a long. Yes, I absolutely agree.
So
how much is that? If you're investing that 25 hours in to get this last, 25%, is it really going to be a fun 25 hours? Or was that 25 hours better off being just played something fresh and new and fun? But then if you start playing something new, like you're going to sit down and play Phoenix Rising, and then you're going to go, oh man, I really want to try to finish that one level. Because you know me, I quit this game twice. I said, I'm done. I'm quitting it. I'm done. And then I got back into it.
Oh, yeah. Well, the good news is I asked for Christmas for Phoenix Rising, so I'm not picking it up until I'm not getting it until Christmas at least. Mm-hmm. So the question is, do I start like a small little 10-hour something type game now, or what do I do? But I'm going to play a little bit more. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
But that's all I have for really Age of Calamity.
That's, yeah.
But before we wrap it up, or Sadie wrap us up, what do we have happening in the next couple of weeks, John?
We've got some interesting stuff coming up this week. It's kind of exciting. On December 8th, that is going to be Tuesday, Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 comes out. I always wanted to play the campaign all the way through in the original one, but I suck at Puyo Puyo. Game? I don't know. This is a Jesse game. I've never been into the Puyo Puyo, so I'm not interested in this at all, but I know some people will.
Mm-hmm.
Another one that some people have been hot on, Ghost Runner, comes out on Wednesday, December 9th. And then Thursday, this has progressively become a day I look forward to. The Game Awards on Thursday. It's going to have a different look to it, but I've heard Reggie Fils-Aimé is going to be there presenting. And up until last year, we were always hoping for little Nintendo announcements. Last year was very dry for Nintendo announcements. But this year, hopefully Nintendo has learned their lesson a little bit. Hopefully they provide something. And oh my gosh, Thursday now, maybe we'll get Bayonetta 3. It has been 3 years since they teased that game. And every Game Award since, I was like, they're going to show more of Bayonetta 3. Well, maybe this is the year.
This is the year. I'm telling you right now, you will see a Breath of the Wild 2 trailer. A real trailer.
Yes.
With possibly a release date of March 2021. Yep.
I think it's going to go to holiday, but no, I'll be optimistic. That'd be cool if they do like a March 3rd.
Switch. That's what it's doing.
I would love that. I love that.
That's the perfect time. 4 years.
Yeah. But please give me Bayonetta 3. So that's December 10th. December 10th, finally, Drew. This is not Nintendo related. Cyberpunk 2077 finally comes. This has been the hyped game for years. It has seen like 3 delays. Obviously, you and I know this. This is the game that it's coming from the Witcher 3 people.
So simple question. Yes or no answer. That's all I'm looking for. Do we ever see Cyberpunk on the Switch?
I think you might see a cloud-based Cyberpunk. Yes. You won't see Cyberpunk. I mean, they ported The Witcher over, but
True.
This game is decidedly more next gen. I just think it's easier for them to just put it on the cloud. But I don't know.
We'll
I'm going to give it a try on the Xbox because I have it. I own it already. But honestly, nothing about it lately that I've seen in the last year has been exciting to me. It's first person. You're basically a really bad human being. Remember when we played The Witcher, right? That he's a good guy. He does good deeds for people. He helps the little guy. He kills a lot of people, but he's a decent guy. So where's the redemption in Cyberpunk? We'll see. But that comes out December 10th. And then a collection of Saga, Final Fantasy Legend. This is the collection largely, I think it's all Game Boy games. These were the Saga series from Japan. They called it Final Fantasy Legend because they thought we were morons and we'd buy it because it was Final Fantasy. The collection comes out December 15th.
Sure. All right. A lot of stuff to look forward to. And that's about it. That's all I got to say. And Sadie, take us home, right?
The Dads After Dark show is a part of the Nintendo Dads family of podcasts. You can subscribe to us anywhere podcasts are available, including iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and Stitcher. Be sure to join us on the Nintendo Dads Discord in the Dads After Dark show channel for some naughty After Dark talk. Follow us on Twitter @NDadsAfterDark. Ask us a question, and we may answer it on the show. That's all for tonight. Good night, Dads. Sweet dreams.